Welcome to another Pan-Panen Pious Prophetic Pondering. On this podcast, I share commentary and insight on the topics that come up in the YouTube Recommended Chronicles archival project that I post on X and Tumblr. We cover an array of controversial topics on this show, so for the sake of the YouTube algorithm, I'd like to remind everyone that I'm sharing my views for entertainment purposes only, and that my goal here is to discuss matters of a spiritual and philosophical nature that intersect with prophecies, esoteric knowledge, eschatology, hidden history, and current events through a interfaith friendly lens with a pantheist perspective, fused with panentheism alongside other methods of reasoning. I'm your host, Epitome the Burn Kid. Please be sure to check out the description box below for this installment's video syllabus and other helpful links. To open our quote tonight for episode 17, the occult versus the quasi-occult, cults, and the safe research and study of them. And what's the big idea? What are these guys actually up to? Let's start with an opening quote. This is a Burn Kid quote. You can, if you ever tell it to anyone, remember, it's my quote. All right, so here's the quote. I wouldn't recommend going to a secret society to learn more about the occult. For the same reason, I wouldn't suggest you inquire with the mafia about the inner workings of the Vatican. Take a moment to reflect on why I might choose such a comparison while embarking on your research surrounding today's episode. Now, on with today's pondering regarding the occult. I tend to go off the cuff a lot on this show as I cover our outline and video syllabus. I also relay arcane esoteric knowledge, not easily cited on a regular basis, so please go within and or to the divine to reflect, meditate, and or pray on anything should you encounter this phenomenon, as it is a great exercise. Let us begin with our foundation. What is the difference between the occult and the quasi-occult, more commonly known as secret societies and fraternal orders? What is the difference between the occult and a cult? What is the difference between an initiate, a practitioner, a scholar, and the naturally spiritually gifted? Where can one freely and safely study these types of topics? And what is the big idea linking so many historical and current events to matters of an occult or esoteric nature? Let's start with the first one. First off, what is the difference between the occult and the quasi-occult, more commonly known as secret societies and fraternal orders? Well, the occult and many other esoteric facets relating to everything from faith to the inner workings of reality itself is a self-concealing, self-initiating set of practices, knowledge, and experiences that lead to and or foster enhanced existential realizations of a claircognizant nature, allowing access to another layer of existence, and multiple layers in some cases, not readily available to the everyday follower of more exoteric functions of religion and spirituality commonly practiced across many organized institutions throughout both orthodox and orthopractic expressions of faith alike. If you're new to a lot of this terminology, I'm going to go over a few of the key ones. Claircognizant, just like clairvoyance, instead of clear sight, this is just clear knowing. This is simply knowing things, getting downloads, interacting with spirit, etc. That's where claircognizance comes into this. Orthodox and orthopractic. Orthodoxy is what you believe. Orthopractic is what do you practice for your faith. And esoteric, very much like occult, is things hidden in plain sight, where exoteric, let me give you an exoteric practice, an exoteric orthopractic example. So people who like go and take communion, That's exoteric, although for some people there's probably something esoteric going on there as well. But it's orthopractic and it's also orthodox. So there's some good examples for you. Occult, esoteric, tantric, and many other similar types of knowledge in their rawest form are transmitted through symbology, meditation, ritual, retreat, pilgrimage, vows, study, and many other experiences directly between the initiate and the primary source of said knowledge. This knowledge basically unlocks higher levels of functionality that open up to new and improved ways of approaching life. But beware. For every enlightening, positive, or neutral piece of occult knowledge, there is also blatantly negative, evil, and fake occult knowledge that, if embarked on, can actually ruin lives far more than just your own. Just look at all that has been unfolding around us in recent events. These elements are very common throughout all parts of belief throughout the world, and witnessing this does help us all to better understand and get a grasp on understanding the complexities of multidimensional existence concurring and expanding at once, yet we all experience different aspects of our shared reality very differently once we evolve to the point of consciousness required to see such matters clearly without any question or doubt. So yeah, the occult, it's not a specific thing, it's not a specific set, it is a concept of self-hiding and self-revealing knowledge that provides more layers and deeper meaning to existence. So now that we've covered the real deal and some examples of occultism in mainstream institutions, Vajrayana Buddhism and Wu Wei within Taoism. These are both occult practices, but not necessarily all Buddhists and not necessarily all Taoists take part in the occult or esoteric practices of these belief systems. So now we're going to move on into the quasi-occult, which is really... oh my goodness, you have no idea how much I want to demystify these overgrown middle school children, for lack of a better term. So the quasi-occult, also known as secret societies or fraternal orders, along with a few other titles, are commonly lumped in with the actual occult, primarily due to very lax standards on definitions and not accounting for the needless obscuring, erasure, abuse, perversion, and botched forgeries of true, legitimate occult knowledge or empowerment. Groups that have manipulated, controlled, destroyed, and fabricated knowledge through pushing false dichotomies and covertly persecuting or exiling those who do not wish to fall in line with their projected illusions and enforcements of their programs or simulations really do not like to look at the degradation, corruption, and corrosion these toxic practices required for membership and acceptance by these groups naturally result in. Hiding behind misunderstood occult concepts does not make one enlightened or empowered, but it will give them a high from the power trip of the placebo effect of their theatrically induced lifestyle. Abusing aspects of artificially controlling data streams and free access to resources or services does not make one of status, but one who should be ashamed. Make no mistake about my opinion of these groups. Only fools, cowards, sociopaths, and narcissists engage in spirituality of the secret society variety as some sort of guarantee to a certain standard of life in this material realm. Not very spiritual, is it? We're back to the material dialectic again, kids. So yeah, trying to run the world through a black magic foundation of trauma bonding, imposed scarcity, and ritualistic abuse has been used since before the times of those evil high priests in ancient Egypt, who basically would puppeteer pharaohs, the royal court, nobility, merchants, and peasants alike, while hiding behind traditions to maintain power through instructions passed down to approved initiates of said order. please be aware of groups that practice Egyptian mysticism fused with Christian and Greco-Roman pagan practices, because the most popular ones are abusing and contaminating knowledge that they do not respect, nor do they actually understand. Yes, there are other groups under other banners to be concerned with, but I just wanted to point out that the most prevalent examples outright without naming names, the many names are in the syllabus with a lot of helpful information to get you on familiarizing yourselves with these groups and their practices. Pay special mind to like the Frankists and the religion of sin that the elites all believe in. Lots of videos on that in the syllabus. Real good stuff. All right, so on to number 2 of our foundation. What is the difference between the occult and occult? What is the difference between an initiate, a practitioner, a scholar, and the naturally gifted? So the primary difference between the occult and occult is that the occult is a concept and a format of understanding esoteric knowledge, while occult is a group of people who adhere to an agreed upon set of beliefs, terms, and practices. An initiate is one who is activated by occult knowledge and receives transmissions or downloads that empower them. A practitioner is one who practices rituals and other exercises of a more ceremonial or practicum format, like in different magic, tantric, shamanic, and healing traditions. A scholar is one who studies and researches the occult, although they might not practice. They are initiates nonetheless from their research. And the naturally gifted are those with spiritual gifts that one was either born with or developed with no intentional external study or conditioning. I happen to fall under all of the aforementioned categories. I practice Vajrayana Buddhism, I practice Wu Wei, I practice meditation, and I practice really old school traditional just herbal healing and things like that. I have learned so very much from so many places and never, ever, ever had to go to a secret society. They've been kind of relentlessly trying to recruit me, and I hit block every time. I don't want any parts of being a part of some esoteric crime ring. It's just totally not my scene. Part of why I want to debunk a lot of these ideas and demystify what is going on around all of us is so that no more people get victimized thinking only one group of people holds knowledge when they're really just a bunch of fraudulent, fabricating con artists who really don't deserve anyone's time of day, and they damage each generation of so-called initiates that they gatekeep. Which, by the way, I don't know if you all were checking out that footage from this year's Olympics with all of that opening ceremony, but I want to tell you right now that these secret societies who think they're having their little jokes and tee-hee and ha-ha, look at us showing off. Actually, they're initiating the masses because they're not the ones doing the initiating. They're not the ones who just know things. The symbols initiate who needs to know. And what I saw in that opening ceremony was a bunch of idiots about to go down for occult ignorance is actually what I'm watching. I predict things are going to get real interesting this year and next year. Stay tuned for more on that. So let's go on to part 3 of where can one freely, safely study these types of topics. Well, I'd like to start with the obvious, everyone. YouTube, this wonderful video syllabus I'm posting is a great start. The internet in general, good start. Books, documentaries, and lectures. The best places for lectures of these varieties will be from institutions of higher learning, research institutes, private and non-profit foundations. In past videos, I pointed out a few. I'm going to point them out again real quick. The Theosophy Society, the Anthroposophy Society, and the Philosophical Research Society all do a lot of really great occult work, open and free to the public. Check that out. And there's a lot of online hubs for open and free orders of occult, esoteric, and arcane practitioners and scholars, like places like meetup.com and other social media sites where you can find people with these interests and learn with them independently. The best places to learn more about Eastern spirituality, occult studies like the ones I've mentioned that I am a part of, in my opinion, are temples, dharma centers, cultural centers, alongside all the aforementioned places that I've already brought up. And if you have access, especially if you're a college student, you are a history worker, you work within religious communities, etc., check out these ideas. There's a lot of pagan communities, indigenous communities, various ethnic communities that you can interact with and talk to. Metaphysical and magic shops, places that sell like tarot cards, crystals, and runes. Natural healing and Reiki communities, monastic communities of all types, Wu-Wei, tantric and yogic communities, Vedic communities as well, and many quote unquote, I'm going to air quote this one, alternative lifestyles, collectives, and hippies, you know, people who kind of look like me but are really totally not the stereotype. We're too independent to be a stereotypical hippie. Yeah. They can also be really great resources if these areas are frequented by knowledgeable individuals. And a final note, I do not under any circumstances suggest taking vows or initiating into any order, especially a closed or a secret order, to simply learn more about the occult or discover the basics in practice. I think that's really silly. It's very wasteful. It's just, you're going to get in over your head because they have an agenda and you don't. And that's just, really not fair. So, that can all be done in a much more private and safe way, because the most beginner stuff that you can possibly learn, you can pick up on your own with books and supplies from places that I've already mentioned. Those early experiences should also be purely between you, your higher self, and the divine. In all truth, so see if this stuff is actually for you or even helpful before you commit to any formal group or order out of genuine benevolence, courtesy, and respect. And on to point 4. What is the big idea linking so many historical and current events to matters of an occult or esoteric nature? Well, for the mega conglomerate of quasi-occultists, the last reset history, they did a reset last time with the coordinated demolition of Tartaria, that they all masked, whitewashed with secret society approved rewrites of the colonial and industrial variety concluding after World War II. This entire debacle had been lined up over centuries before they moved on to the next fabricated era. And the next fabricated era just happened to be the one we're sort of sitting through now, the space race, followed by the information age, where they attempted to sell us on this intergalactic and digital motif to cover up the degrading modern era narrative. Unlike the real occult, the quasi-occult mostly uses their rituals for blackmail and leverage. The black magic they generally use comes in the form of lies, broken promises, fraud, legislation, bribery, forgery, media discrimination, toxic chemicals, weapons of war, and psychological operations, not to mention all the blood sacrifices, orgies, and everything else that they're doing to basically MK Ultra one another and bond through trauma to, I don't know. I don't even want to go into it. But yeah, basically, they have to force these false simulations of reality onto the masses. They have to break their chattel like horses with conditioning and indoctrination. They have to drive motivation with insecurity and fear they produce with narcissistic abuse and satanic ritual abuse, combined with artificial scarcity tactics, amplified and reinforced with the systems that they have mandated into place for the sole purpose of oppressing the rest of us to remain needlessly toxic, unchecked, tolerated, and relevant. Without their little rules they impose by peer pressure first and later by force, they have absolutely no power or relevance, in all honesty, to anyone in this realm. They actually don't matter. It's really silly they've gotten the attention that they've gotten as long as they've gotten it. It's been long enough that they hide behind these memberships. They hide behind planetary movements. They misunderstand knowledge that is very abusively gatekept by the inbred morons that want to further retard each generation simply to maintain the minute amount of false power that has been wrongfully allotted to them by the weak-minded and the unscrupulous beings who prey on them to have any purpose of meaning in life at all. It really is that simple. They are fraudulent cowards who cannot fathom another way to survive, that to be horrid and atrocious to the kind and patient souls who are to inherit this realm once this cycle concludes with the Earth's disaster cycle, ushering us into a new era after a much-needed cleanse and containment of the remnants of Satan's little season that just happened to coincide with the ending of the Kali Yuga and the Age of Pisces, which is known for really highlighting dualism. We're supposed to not even question life is not dualistic after this experience. I hope you're already on team pluralism with me. I've been a pluralist since I was a kid. You don't need to be a member of any order or secret society to gain esoteric knowledge, be initiated by occult symbols, experiences, literature, understand numerology, track their movements guided by astrology or moon cycles, see through their tactics and their theatrics to the meat of the matter, or understand their false beliefs better than they do. It is a fact that those of us in this community who are getting the word out about these people who think it is they're entitled to run the world or something because someone with fake rules and a silly outfit said they could. Yeah, I'm here to just demystify and debunk all of that for everyone. That stuff just isn't a thing. This has like really gone on since the Dark Ages and medieval era. And each generation, and this is intentional because they want everyone but them to be weaker than they are. Each generation is actually engineered and conditioned to be weaker and more messed up and easier to control. And they don't understand, like, you know, this like ends up really badly for all of you, right? Oh, you don't? Oh, you're just going la 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 la. Yeah, how old are we? And these people are 60, 70, 80. Yeah, I think it's time for everyone else just to stop giving them attention, live parallel, go off the grid, and prepare for what's coming. They're not going to make it out of this, and they're really not going to want to be honest with you. I think there's a reason this cycle happens every 6,000 years is a little mini one, every 12,000 years is a big one. I'm not shocked by any of this. We're actually going to tie this talk into that subject next time when I come back with you for Ptolemaic reasoning. That's right, we're going to talk about the flat earth kids, Copernican conversions, and the earth disaster cycle, and what we all need to know and what we can do. So definitely come back next time for that. My exercise for you this lecture, and I'm going to, at the end of the video, show a scroll of all the videos in the syllabus playlist, so you can just get a sort of sneak peek at what's in there, and there'll be a link for everything in the description box below. My exercise to you is take a look at what calls your attention. There's a blend of information about Vajrayana Buddhism, Wu Wei. There is information about the different secret societies and their practices. There's some information about Theosophy, Anthroposophy, and a Philosophical Research Society in there. There's some current event pieces that overlap on this topic. There's a lot of college lectures from a professor who covers all this hidden history subject matter. And yeah, it's a nice medley, and there's some audiobooks on there too, so definitely head over there and take a look at that. And I suggest watch maybe 4 or 5 videos that call to you, and reflect on it, and then think about that as we continue through these talks and cover other topics, because it's a mosaic and it's like multi-tiered. It's just going to keep layering and overlapping as we go. But that's it for this pondering. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and would like to remind everyone to like, share, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells if you haven't yet. Please be sure to subscribe to Alexandria on here on YouTube, Rumble, or Odyssey. Also, we're getting Alexandria on Twitch fired up soon. We're gonna have some fun events over there, watch parties, gaming, more interactive stuff is going to be done over there. So, and music, definitely music. So definitely come check that out. And please follow, if you haven't already, the hashtag YouTube Recommended Chronicles by following me, Epitome the Burn Kid, on X or Tumblr, and follow Copernican Records on SoundCloud for the latest from OK Copernicus Productions. As I like to tell everyone in closing, stay safe, stay prepped, stay awesome, and keep being excellent to one another, as we need it now more than ever. I wish you much PLUR to you, and encourage you to art hard in whatever way expresses your soul's essence the best. Ptolemaic vibes, alchemical knowledge, banging beats, OK Copernicus. I'll catch you all party people later. Epitome out. Bye, everyone. Ptolemaic views, alchemical knowledge, banging beats, OK Copernicus.